We're just waiting for the live stream to start, so we'll get started in just a second. Okay, it looks like we're all set. We are live streaming on Facebook as well as recording this presentation. So again, just as a reminder, if you don't wish to be seen or heard, please utilize that chat function. Otherwise, please feel free to interrupt me at any time with a chat or just turn your video on and we can have a conversation. So if you are tuning in via Facebook right now, I just want to remind you that I cannot see your comments and you'll need to go ahead and join us on Zoom to be able to comment and interact with us. And that link will be provided right underneath this video in the comments section. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Sarah Phillips. I'm the Executive Director here at the Kodiak Chamber of Commerce. Each week we come to you just with any updates we feel like you might have an interest in as business members or community members here in Kodiak. So we'll go ahead and get started. I feel a little bit like a broken record, but we do have quite a few federal aid financial relief programs available for businesses right now. So that's the PPP program, the Paycheck Protection Program. There's both available a first draw and a second draw. For the first draw, that's people who have never applied before. The second draw is for people who have applied before. If you didn't qualify for the PPP the first time around, or they ran out of funds before you were able to apply, it's gotten to be a much friendlier process, especially to our commercial fishermen, our sole proprietors, and anyone that's kind of a 1099 or a seasonal worker. It's a much friendlier process. I encourage you to reach out to the financial institution of your choice. If you have any questions about it and need some guidance, we're happy to help you here at the Chamber. I can go ahead and share our information. You can call us at 907-486-5557 anytime. We're happy to help you. You can also email us at chamber@kodiak.org. So I know that I've got a couple people online right now, so I am monitoring the chat box. Does anyone have any questions about the PPP program before I move on from that? Okay, not seeing anything. If I've missed you, go ahead and wait for it, and we'll go ahead and get you that question answered. The next one is a new program, the EIDL grant program. It's the advanced funding for that has not been released yet. It's a program that did exist way back when COVID started. It was a $10,000 advanced funding opportunity for any business that had the expectation that they were being hurt by COVID-19. That program, again, it has not opened yet, and it has some new stipulations that we were told about this week. And so that EIDL Advanced is a $10,000 grant. If you received any portion of that, you potentially are eligible for the rest of it. Here at the Chamber, we received $3,000 at the beginning, so we would in theory be eligible for another $7,000. But there are two new caveats with that. The first of which is that you do have to be in basically a low income area as defined by the SBA. We don't know if Kodiak qualifies for that yet. So we will keep you posted. They have not posted the communities that are eligible for this program yet, but we're waiting to find out. If we do find out we're one of those eligible communities, from there, a business still needs to be able to show a 30% loss of revenue compared to 2019. So Those funds aren't as easily accessible as we had hoped and thought that they were going to be. There's some new stipulations that were put on those. So we'll keep everyone appraised if we believe your business might be able to qualify for those. But right now, still don't know when that program is going to open. There is, however, the EIDL loan program that is open. There's some very low interest rates that businesses are able to apply for right now. So if you have questions about the EIDL Advanced Funding Program or the EIDL Loan Program, that's EIDL. So we call it EIDL, and that's for Economic Injury and Disaster Loss. And so we've got lots of information about the PPP, both EIDL programs. And then there's also the employee tax credit program. That's something that you can file quarterly. And if you work with a bookkeeper or an accountant, they should know quite a bit about that program. If you don't work with one of them, please let us know. We'll help make sure that you get the information so that you know if you qualify for the program or not. But it is a great program to be able to take advantage of. At this point in time, no business should be leaving any money on the table. You should definitely try for as much as you're able to. The final program that we have that we know that's coming available is the Live Venue Operators Grant. And so that's going to be for any organization that relies on ticket revenue for their sales. So often that's going to be our museums, our movie theaters, programs like that. We have tried to reach out to each of those organizations individually, but if we missed you and you have questions and you operate live venues and have questions, please feel free, reach out to us. We'll get you pointed in the right direction. So for the most part, that's everything about the federal funding. We really haven't had a lot of changes. We do know that the PPP loans are starting to roll out, so that's really fantastic news, a great relief for so much of our community that I know is still struggling. So we do have a few other updates for you. As you know, we like to do these Thursday updates after our community update briefing from City Manager Mike Twangy. If any of you tuned into that, you know that we have a vaccine clinic rolling out on Friday, and there are still spots available for those that are 65 and older or medical professional that qualify under the first tier and have not yet gotten their vaccine. So if you have questions about that, again, feel free to reach out to us. I might need a clarification. The name of the last program, I've mentioned the PPP, which is the Payroll Protection Program, the EIDL, the Economic Injury and Disaster Loan Program. That is both an advanced funding program and a loan program. And so the loan program is open right now, but the advanced funding program is not. And then we also have the Employee Retention Tax Credit Program. And that is for businesses that employ staff, and that goes against their employee payroll taxes that you pay each quarter. And then the last one is the Live Venue Operators Grant. Did I get the question answered? Okay, perfect. And again, our phone number, I'll go ahead and type it into the chat box here as well so that you can always reach out to us. It's 907-486-5557. And you can always reach out to us at chamber@kodiak.org. We're open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. We're not done with the update yet, so stay tuned. Just want to share our information. Make sure you utilize that comment box. If you happen to be watching us on Facebook, I can't see your comments, so please join us on Zoom. But please utilize that comment box. I am moderating that. Okay, so up next, again, we are in yellow status still. We're in that medium risk level for the Kodiak community. So that does mean that our restaurants still have restrictions. All of our gatherings need to still be limited. We are down to, I believe, 15 active cases right now in Kodiak. So that's amazing news. Please continue to keep up everything that you're doing as far as wearing your mask and getting that vaccine if you're able to and willing to. All of those measures come together and help keep our businesses open and help keep our economy flowing. So to get on to some of the more nuanced items that have been coming to the chamber over the last week. The first one is that Alaska Airlines has announced that beginning Friday, February 12th through Wednesday, March 17th, we are going to have a third jet during the day. So on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we will have a third jet, and the jet will depart Anchorage at 12:25 p.m. and arrives in Kodiak at 1:28 p.m. And then it will leave Kodiak at 2:15 and arrive in Anchorage at 3:10. Alaska Airlines is trying to do their part to make sure that we can travel for spring break if we want to, and just help those who are starting to travel a little bit more have some more flight options. We know that that's been a strain over the last few months. So a big thanks to Alaska Airlines for helping us out there. We do also, let's see, have a couple other things in the works. We learned just recently, this is crazy interesting news for those in the small business community. Anyone that uses gift cards, please listen up. So if you are a business that issues gift cards throughout the year, I had no idea, and so I'm trying to spread this information. Our gift cards cannot expire for a date less than 3 years from issue date. So for the many of us that have been issuing gift cards that have a 1-year expiration date, we can't do it. We have to have a 3-year expiration date. And once that 3 years is up, if any funds haven't been used, then those are considered forfeited funds. So really interesting tidbit of information. We just want to help keep everyone in compliance, help keep everyone in the know, and continue to provide that information to our business community. All right, next up on my list here, we had some questions about online sales tax and how that can be impacting some of our businesses. We obviously know that here in Kodiak, our retail, it competes very heavily with those big online stores, whether it be Target or Amazon, Walmart even offering free shipping on some items. We know that that's been a challenge because we want to keep things even and on a fair playing field. So the city does now have that online sales tax issuance. And so if you are a community member that is tax exempt, you do have the option to reach out to that online retailer and provide them the documentation that you are tax-free status so that they can stop collecting that. A lot of the bigger organizations have that functionality to be able to do that. Some of the smaller ones don't, but do be aware that they cannot be charging you sales tax if you are tax exempt. So they need to find a way to make their program work for you. If you live outside of city limits, you'll notice that so many of the borough residents do not have to pay that sales tax, though some people I've heard are trying to make online purchases and are borough residents that are being charged that online sales tax automatically. The good way to avoid this is to enter those last 4 digits after your zip code. So each of our zip codes actually has an extra 4 digits at the very end. And by entering that, that'll really designate that you are not part of the city of Kodiak and you are a borough resident. And then you shouldn't be charged that sales tax any longer. The reason I bring it up is actually mostly for our businesses. We know some of our businesses, your suppliers that have maybe never charged you sales tax before are starting to do that. It is important that they realize to charge you sales tax, they must have an account with the city of Kodiak to collect that sales tax. We're actually working directly with the city of Kodiak to try and put together a class to be able to inform our community a little bit better and at a little deeper level than the very high level I'm going right now. So then the last issue that I really want to bring up and have you guys thinking about and be aware of is that federally, the Biden administration has introduced a, it's not a bill, it's nothing yet, it is just communication that they're opening about a raise of the minimum wage to $15 per hour. This obviously really impacts a lot of our small businesses and changes your entire model, especially in a year that you've already been hit very hard. And so There's nothing for us to do at this point in time. This is not something that is even a bill, even anything to be able to write your representatives about, but it is something we're keeping our eye on because, again, we know that while this can be a really good thing for some people, it could actually close some of our businesses. And so we are, again, primarily advocates for our business community. That's why the Chamber of Commerce exists here, is to be an advocate and an educational source for all of our members, all of our community members. And so if you have concerns, whether it's the $15 minimum wage or literally anything that you think is impacting our small business community or business community in general, does not have to be small business, please reach out. We are here to listen to you. We're here to try and make a difference. We actually have communication with some pretty heavy hitters at the Alaska Chamber of Commerce, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. Of course, we have direct links to our Alaska senators and our U.S. representatives. So we can make a big impact. Our voice is louder than you might realize. So please reach out to us. Let us know your concerns. Let us know your questions. And so with that, that's the big updates that I wanted to give. If you have any questions, please go ahead and type those in the comment field and I will moderate those and see what I can answer. But while we wait for any of those questions, I just want to remind you that Chamber of Commerce is a member-based organization. We are a nonprofit that represents our members. And so we are not funded by the city. We are not funded by the borough. We are completely self-sustaining here. Most of our funding comes from those big events that we do here in Kodiak, like Comfish and Crab Fest. And so with those funds, we like to give back to our membership as much as possible and provide educational opportunities like this, provide one-on-one consulting with the Small Business Development Center. If you have questions about any change that you're looking to make in your small business, they are a fantastic resource. So again, reach out to us. We are happy to provide any information and help be advocates for all of you. I'm not seeing anything come in, so we'll give it just another minute. And as a reminder, we do these every Thursday at 4 o'clock. We're happy to have you tune in. We go over the big federal updates, the state updates, as well as our local updates that impact us most. And it really is a great opportunity just to facilitate some conversation. Jump in anytime you have questions. We can't help you if we don't know what the issue is, so we're always here for you. Again, you can reach out to us at 907-486-5557. That is in the comments there for you to take down. We're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. And email us anytime at chamber@kodiak.org. Otherwise, that's it. That's all I have for you. So thanks so much for joining me this evening.